What's up, everybody? Paul Hickey here with your data-driven daily tip. I'm really excited today to be talking to you about a subject that I'm very passionate about, and that is content creation. Not only do I love creating content, but I love the results that it brings for our business and our clients' businesses. And so I'm going to talk a little bit about that, but the main point of today's data-driven daily tip is to show CEOs, COOs, VPs of marketing, other executives, and especially the number one executive, the small business owner, how to create content on a daily basis and make it work for your schedule and your routine and make it drive results for your business. So the number one question that I've been asked over the last 10 years of my career is, how do we get to the top of Google? How do we generate more web traffic? And of course, how do we turn that web traffic into business for our company? And so this, my friends, is where the content creation comes in, because the proof is in the data that when you blog every day, yes, every day, you get more quality web traffic. So how do you blog every day? That's easily the scariest thing for small business owners and any executive to think about doing, because the number one thing is, it's got to take up way too much of my time. I clearly don't have time for that. Well, I'm here to tell you I've been blogging every day for about the last year, and I just make it work. And so we've had a lot of our clients and partners ask, well, how do you make it work? So I'm going to break that down for you today, just at a conceptual level, and show you how. Now, this will be elaborated on in further content, of course, on datadriven.design and our blog dataoveropinions.com. But today, we're going to get started on that. So let me break down the number one concept behind how you all can start blogging every day and creating content every day. So first, what you're going to want to do is create something that we call pillar content. Now, full disclosure, I've stolen this. This is not original. I've stolen this from somebody named Gary Vaynerchuk, who does this very well. And what we're doing is we're creating pillar content. Now, what pillar content means is something that is long form. So you start with something that is very long form that takes quite a bit of time to put together. And that would be something like a white paper or a keynote speech or a speaking appearance of some kind. It could even be actually just recording yourself during a very long, interesting meeting where you talk about your company and you're having a discussion maybe with other people in your field about how you do business and what your value proposition is, and any new trends or anything like that in your industry. It seems like a very foreign concept, but that is actually a very good use of your time if you can get around people that are willing to let you capture their discussion with you. Even if it's just only you, your face, your audio, that can be pillar content. So number one pillar content for an executive with very little time to create content every day is a white paper. Number two would be a speaking appearance. And number three would be literally just recording yourself during a conversation or a meeting, because you're constantly talking about your business. So this would be long form content, something that's more than a half an hour, could even be like 2, 3, 4 hours worth of discussions and even just video of yourself. And now bear with me, because there's more coming here. So now what we do after we create the pillar content, and I'm going to give you my first example here, is our white paper, the data download. So the data download looks at the previous year, all of the web data that we aggregate from Google Analytics. And so it shows basically what the data says in terms of what your web layout should look like, what's going to convert the best, what type of calls to action should you have on your site, how big should your imagery be, what should your buttons look like, where should they be positioned, how important is mobile to your particular website and vertical, and how should you design your mobile site. It gets into how many main navigation items you should have. It gets into digital marketing and what types of digital marketing efforts you should be focused on based on your vertical. Not our opinions, but what the data says to do. So that's our white paper. So once we do our white paper, it's basically like this long form, I want to say 25-page PDF that walks you through all of these things. You're seeing this now on your screen, and if you're listening on the podcast or on your Amazon device, you can kind of imagine me scrolling through like a long 20-page white paper. So that's the pillar content example. So that might take your team and you like a month or two to put together, and that's fine. But then the way that you're going to want to think of this is each pillar content has several spin-off smaller versions. So now what we're looking at, and those of you listening, is we're looking at about 20 to 30 different videos of me presenting the data download to really just about 10 or 15 people that I invited into a room who I knew would be interested in the content. So once you have these 10 to 15 videos, you basically can embed them into 10 to 15 different blog posts. And so now what you've done is you've taken probably like a month's worth of effort and another couple hours presenting it to a room of about 10 to 15 of your peers, and you've video recorded yourself is all you've done. You've cut that up into 15 to 20 videos, say one for each main point that you made on each page of your white paper, and then you have 15 different blog posts from that, 15 different YouTube videos, and you still have your white paper that you're constantly promoting. So we're taking pillar content and then we're creating it into smaller chunks of content. So now I'm going to show you an example of a keynote or a presentation. So here's a presentation that we do all the time called Data Driven Academy. And so presentation that Kate and I gave, we're going to use the example of at Vanderbilt University. There's several of these. We've done several of these, but there's an example where we did one in Vanderbilt University to the Masters of Marketing class in Nashville, Tennessee. And so Kate and I did probably 4 hours worth of presenting content on, ironically enough, content creation and SEO. So we're presenting this, we're teaching the Masters of Marketing class. Here's some other examples for those of you watching of where we've done these different classes on Facebook ads, Google Analytics, Google AdWords, things like that. So these are hours and hours of content. Then what we do is we chop them up into, in this case, for Instagram, we've had only about, 50 seconds or less worth of video. So you can see here, there's several videos in our Instagram where it's chopped up content from Vanderbilt videos that we've created off of that. And they're all usually, like I said, between 30 and 50 seconds long. And, each time you're making a point in a keynote presentation, that is another piece of content that you can pull from that pillar, and it can be another day on your calendar of content. So it's not like you have to wake up every day and think, oh my gosh, what am I going to blog about? These should be pillar things that are already differentiators to your company, that are already things that you're constantly telling people, and then you should just repurpose that into content for your blog. So at a conceptual level, this is lesson 1 at how do you blog every day? How do you create content? And then we can get into some of the more technical resources at dataoveropinions.com on the blog post in terms of how to create a podcast, how to take audio from your YouTube video and turn that into your podcast. All of that very hands-on detailed stuff is available at dataoveropinions.com, but the conceptual part is what I wanted to talk to you about today, and that would be taking your pillar content and breaking it down into everyday blogs. Now, there's another thing that I want to talk about in today's data-driven daily tip that supplements your pillar content, and it's very important, and that is your frequently asked questions by your clients, your partners, your employees, any of your constituents that you communicate with on a regular basis, executives and small business owners. You know who these people are. They can be internal, they can be external, they can be a mix of both. But listen, they have a ton of questions for you all the time, and you're constantly answering the same question over and over again. You know this. Well, what I've done on my blog is I've just taken emails, literally questions from people of me, and I've turned them into a blog post, not singling them out on the post, but thinking, wow, if this person doesn't know the answer to this question, there's got to be at least 10 to 15 more like them that don't. I'm going to make this a blog post. I'm going to send it back to them. And now all of a sudden, this blog post can help all sorts of other people like them. This has been one of my number one blogging marketing strategies over the last year. Everybody, there's more to come on this. Don't worry. I'm Paul Hickey. This is your data-driven daily tip. Have a great day.